Hello my friends, this is our first problem. We're gonna solve this problem, that is how a ball is thrown upwards from the ground with an initial velocity of 32 feet per second. The height of the ball is expressed in this formula, that is, wait a second, our formula is this one. S equals 32t minus 16t squared. And we have to cover these two main points, that is, what is the maximum height that the ball reaches and when the ball reaches the ground. So let's watch it. First we have to state our problem, here it is stated, then we have to put it in order, that is minus 16t squared plus 32t. Then the next step is we have to factorize the 32t, so it gives us this formula, that is minus 16 t squared minus 2t. So yeah, then we have this 16. Then as we need to factorize the 2t, we divide this 2 by 2 and it gives us 1, and that 1 we have to square it, and it is shown here. So our product is minus 16. Oh yes, forgive me. So we have minus 16 times t squared minus 2 plus 1, that is our result. Then we have to put our result with a different sign times the 16. So our result has to be added to the equation outside what we had factorized and multiplied by minus 16. In a step before, we have to be factorize the minus 16 out. So the equation ends like this: minus 16 times t squared minus 2 plus 1 plus 16. Then, as we completed the squares, we can factor our equation, and it ends in minus 16 times t1 t minus 1 squared plus 16. So the vertex values are inside the perfect trinomial. There are 1, 16. We have to change the sign of the minus 1 to 1 and add the 16, positive 16. So we have our t1, that is 0, and our t2, that is 2. These are for graphing. So we get to our graph, that is this one. Yeah. So here's explained that 16 is the maximum height that the ball reaches the vertex and touches the ground in 2.
The problem 2 is this one. An arrow is thrown straight up 3 meters above the ground with a velocity of 14 meters per second, and the gravity has a strength of 7 meters per second squared. And the problem we are going to solve is when does it touches the ground, and this is our equation interpreting the statement above, but ordering it, it's something like this. So this is the equation that we are going to work with. So the statement is y equals minus 7x to the square plus 14x plus 3, and y equals 7x factoring x to the square minus 2 and dividing 2 by 2 give us 1, and 1 we have to raise it to the square. So x to the square minus 2 plus 1 plus, we have to put the 1 but with different sign and multiply it by 7 because we were factorizing the 7 plus 3. Then minus 1 times minus 7 equals 7 plus 3 equals 10. Then it's y minus 7 x to the square minus 2 plus 1 plus 10. And well, this is our statement. Y equals minus 7 times x minus 1 to the square plus 10. Sorry for that, plus 10. So our vertex is this one, but with the sign changed. So it's 1 and 10. So this is our vertex. For finding the roots, we have to get x. So we're going to equals it to 0 and then pass the 10 to the other side, so it's minus, and x minus 1 x squared plus 7 becomes positive. Then we have x minus 1 square root of 10 square root of 7, and we have to rationalize. So we multiply what is inside of the roots, so it's the square root of 70 over 7. This is equals x equals 1 plus minus the square root of 70 over 7. So that in the calculator is 1.19. So x equals 1 plus minus 1.19. Well, this is, and the vertex is the maximum height, and it will touch us in 2.
Well, here's our example number 3. This is it. The Mrs. Brenda company has determined that in average 40 rackets of tennis are sold monthly in a price per unit of 100. Also, they have determined that for each reduce of $5 over the price that it sells 50 more rackets in a month. The question here is, with which price it gets the maximum monthly entry? Here are our values, and here is our function. Well, here is our function, and that is 100 minus 5x times 600 plus 50x. Well, here we are going to make the multiplication, that is 60,000 plus 200x minus 250x to the square. Here is our next step, minus 250 times x to the square minus 8x, and we here leave a space for completing the square. Here we complete the square, minus 250 times x squared minus 8 over 2. This result we have to square it and put it next to it. Here we add it, and 60,000 next minus 250 times x to the square minus 8x plus 16. Here we have to make a change of sign and multiply it by minus 250 and then add 60,000. Well, here we are going to perform the operations. Plus, because there are two minus signs, and then we are going to add that numbers. Here we're going to simplify the square, x minus 4 to the square plus 64,000. Here is the solution of the question, that is, which price will be to get the maximum entry for the company. minus 250 times x minus 4 to the square plus 64,000. Well, here we only have to get the vertex, and I have to change the sign to the 4, and it will be at the 64,000. And here in the graph we check that when x is 4, we check that the maximum monthly entry is 64,000, and that will be the maximum entry for the company.